In this video to follow, I'm going to say it's Ruckus Day 18 about 72 times. It's clearly Ruckus Day 19. Charge it to my head, not to my head. Day 18 of my ruckus, and blah. So today I am pressing towards the mark for the prize of the higher calling in Christ Jesus. I've become song obsessive about a new song. It's called "I Found You" by Keisha Covington. It's this sister that goes to my church. I've loved her music and her ministry for some time now. Just has a very genuine, sweet heart. And so, yeah, you can buy her CD on CD Baby. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put the link to it in the bottom of this video, which will not show up on this screen, of course. You'll have to go to YouTube to see it. And yes, my fingernail polish is chipped. And it has been like that for several weeks because I paint my fingernails once a month and then I'm just over it. So today I just been really dealing just dealing more with the agreements that I've made with other the stuff that other people have said about me, that I've just accepted it as true. So, the drama, the muchness, all those things, they're things that I recently realized, or was pointed out to me actually by my therapist, that I have made these agreements with the word drama and, whatever. And so I've attached those things to myself, and so I hold back because of that, because while being dramatic and much and all that, that may not necessarily be a bad thing when people say it in certain instances. I'm by saying or trying to brace have you brace yourself by saying, oh, I know that this is dramatic, or this is about to be much, or whatever things that I've said or agreed with, that I'm making an apology for the fact that this is who I am. And so it's not dramatic and much. It's just, this is what is normal for me. It's normal for me to feel. It's normal for me to, whatever it is that I'm expressing. And so I'm really intentionally considering that again today, and making that a part of my conversation. On 2 occasions today, I actually corrected people. Somebody jokingly said that I was crazy, like, girl, you crazy. And I corrected that person, and it wasn't. I know that it wasn't even nasty. I know for a fact that it wasn't nasty because it was a sister girl of mine. I had done something, just expressing my appreciation and gratitude for her, and just what she said was, "Girl, you crazy. That's why I love you so much." And obviously, she meant that, just as like, I love you, but because I'm trying to, really start tearing down the idea that, for the idea that being extremely grateful or loving someone, and being transparent in that is much, or it's not. I get that it might not be something that we're used to, but that doesn't make it crazy. That doesn't make it much. That doesn't make it, dramatic at all. That's just, this is real and authentic for me. And so that was my response. I'm not crazy. It's just that I'm very genuine and transparent with, my authenticity. And so if that to someone is crazy, or, whatever it may be defined as, that doesn't mean that I have to own that. And I don't, because I'm not trying to be, when I'm loving someone, I'm not trying to be dramatic or much or over the top. I'm just giving what comes natural for me. The second occasion was that I said something, to a guy friend of mine earlier today on the phone, and he said, "Oh, you are just so dramatic." And I said, "No, I'm actually not dramatic." And I, just kind of corrected it. I said, that's just, um, and again, it wasn't even like trying to be nasty or whatever, but just these things that I've normally agreed with. Like, I normally in that instance would have been like, "Yeah, I know," and not even intentionally apologizing, but I've been apologizing for, these things that I am. And so, of course, this is connected to my ruckus because I've apologized so much, unintentionally and intentionally. I've apologized for a lot of where I am or what has happened, even things that didn't have anything at all to do with me, things that he may have been fully responsible for, and I've apologized for those things because it felt easier, or feels easier for me to apologize for it, or to make some type of apology, or try to find some type of place, for it to be okay, for it to fit in, than for me to just leave it in this open space. Like, that felt very uncomfortable. But I think that this is also being unwilling to apologize for where I am, or who I am, or what's happening in my world right now, is also forcing me to deal with, there are some unknowns that just are unknowns, and that doesn't feel good for me. That might not make other people feel good or feel comfortable, but that's what it is. And you can't really apologize for what it is sometimes. I mean, sometimes you can if you created it, but I didn't create this. So there's nothing for me to be sorry about. So I would like to send a shout out to a friend of mine that wants to do ruckus, but is scared to do ruckus because this friend isn't really ready to confront some truths. And I just want to say that this is probably, getting on YouTube and telling your business, you would think that it's the scariest thing in the world. But there's such a community of people that support you. There are people that support me in my ruckus that I've never met in my life. As a matter of fact, the people that cheer me on the most are like these random women from around the United States of America and to the Republic for which it stands that I've never met them. They're just touched by the truth. Even if their story isn't the same as my story, it's just refreshing. And I will admit that for me, Sonya's ruckus was very frightening, but liberating at the same time, because it's like, she just gonna tell the truth like that? Like, when we were growing up, especially those of us that grew up in the black church, the church mothers and your pastor and your mother and your grandma and your aunties probably frequented telling you the truth will set you free. I want to neck jerk and tell you the truth has set me free, or the truth is setting me free. And with my head all wrapped up like this, I feel like it's very appropriate that you hear the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. You got to hear that from me. And it's believable because I have a turban on my head. It's day 18